Craft Roulette. This is the first time in 165 episodes that I could hear the music. I haven't been able to hear the intro music in all this time. It's been an update from Mr. Producer, and he would say she hums to different songs, she's dancing to a different beat. So he fixed it. So that, yay! Welcome, Chatterboxes! Welcome, Mr. Producer. Well done. We have a great evening planned for you. Of course, we don't really plan, but we do have a plan. We don't have a plan, but we do have a plan. Welcome back, Jama's friends. Welcome, Eileen's friends. We're going to get to meet her in just a few minutes. What is Craft Roulette, you say? You may ask that. Well, we're going to hear more about what Craft Roulette is. And in about 2 hours, if you have never been to the show, you will kind of understand what Craft Roulette is. But in a nutshell, we are the ultimate paper crafting card making game show challenge. And we're here almost every Friday evening, saving a seat just for you. Slideshow? Could you get any better? How do you do that? Every week, our contributors top themselves. This week, they sent in 342 cards. We were just watching them along with everybody, just going, ooh, ah. Just to the I heard that music. I could have that reference. It's good. So it was great. Well done. We're going to get some new parameters here in a few minutes and see what we are going to make tonight. Want to say 5K, now 6K. You are in our love and thoughts, and hope you have managed to get through the week. We are thinking about you. If you could, please give us a thumbs up and a share. That would be fabulous. It would be fun send it to somebody who doesn't craft, just for the heck of it, right? And just see what they come up with. Sometimes people actually do like the show that don't craft, and sometimes people that craft don't like the show. So, it all kind of works out. We do want to thank our spin sponsors. This is the last week for our June spin sponsors. We have Simon Says stamps. It was fun to see Kathy Zilski's stamps being used already in the Facebook.
May spin sponsors.
Am I saying June already?
Yeah.
Is it Christmas? I'm ready for Christmas. I'm ready. That linear thing just kind of didn't get in my jeans. I don't know. It didn't get the.
I'm not a time literalist either.
So anyway, that's whatever month it is. We thank you for being our spin sponsors. We had the summit, and then Simon Says and Kathy Zilski's with her wonderful gift that she gave away. So it's wonderful. At the end of the show, when we do our giveaway, if you did send in one of those 342 cards, make sure you stick around so that you may win a $100 gift certificate from Simon Says Stamps. And we will be announcing what month will it be next? June spin sponsors. And we've got some good ones coming. So this will be a great week to send in a card. Gosh, I covered several things. Patrons, we are not supported by any company. We are sponsored by and supported by our Patreon account. People in the Patreon account, which are patrons. It's so hard to keep those two straight. I thought I had it right, but then again, I said today is June. So you don't believe a stinking word I say. We do want to thank our patrons. They're wonderful. They give us a lot of encouragement and some financial help to boot. You know what? Let me show you something here too. Plus, they got me a new chair with a back, so I can sit here longer on our Zoom calls and just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. We do want to thank you. We want to welcome 3 new patrons. And she doesn't have her first name, but it's Diabuscus, Donna May, and April Sunshine Works. Thank you guys for joining us over on our patron blog. I hope you have found some fun content over there. We do try to keep you busy with all sorts of ideas, and hopefully you have found that. Mr. Mike has on his original sleeve that I made myself with my own little hands. So we thank you, Mr. Mike, for looking so good. This is something from Deputy Heidi. And looky there. There is our stamp set boldly on Mr. Mike, just like a billboard. He is just like a billboard, isn't he? And there is my hand-drawn whatever it is that's on the back of the stamp set. It's, you know what if you have that and you have bought the first round of those stamps, if we ever have them printed again, I didn't sign those. So you will have a flaw in the ointment, and it will be unique, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. That doesn't matter. But thank you so much for getting those stamp sets. It has been really fun to see you guys come up with some great ideas already. I need to figure out how to get those in one place. I don't know. It's beyond me. So what else do we have? Oh, we have merchandise. If you don't want a stamp set, and you don't want to be a patron, we do have some wonderful teas and sweats and mugs, including the mug for our Tuesday show, which we have a fun game show over there called, not game show, detective show, called Who Done It. So join us each and every Tuesday, except for 4th of July. We're trying to figure out what to do. So that's that. Forum. From, that's one syllable, from Virginia. Please give a warm Craft Roulette welcome to our first-time guest, Eileen Hull.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Yay.
So glad to be here.
You have a chipmunk do you ever keep chipmunks in your studio?
No, but I just saw one outside tonight.
Well, keep your door shut.
Yes, that's what I thought.
They like to craft. I'm pretty darn sure of it. We did have a chipmunk in our studio this week, and the story is coming out tomorrow on our Facebook group. So there you go. Complete with video.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I mean to tell you, hubba. So welcome to Craft Roulette, Eileen. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
Are you ready?
I guess so. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm here. I'm here, and I have a lot of stuff. So. You are
prepared. You are prepared.
Yeah, I am prepared.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, because you were new to me, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
Well, I live in Virginia near D.C. We were military for 20 years, so we kind of settled here. We have 4 kids, 9 grandkids. I like to do all different kinds of crafts, but mostly I do die cutting. I have a line of dies with Sizzix. And I've been with them for 15 years. The dies I design are a little bit different. They work with thick material, mat board, chipboard. So I design kind of heavy duty construction type projects, books and boxes. That's why I'm a little nervous here, because I'm not a major card maker. Like, as I can see, 309,000 people showed these amazing cards. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have watched that, but
but you know what a thick book looks like, and so you just think of the cover. Just think of the cover.
It might be a book.
We'll figure.
We'll see.
Well, that would be okay.
It's
how many
paper.
Volumes? Yeah, it's
only one.
It'll be fine. We have had some things that would have worked really easily. I don't know if they're on the wheel now, but bookbinding cards, and we have also had book pages for that people have used, and they've made little books and things. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be fun to see what you come up with.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have not one thought in my head. I'm hoping I will be divinely inspired, and my team is here kind of hopefully going to drop me some tips if they can think of any. And if anybody does, just let me know.
The cheddar boxes are full of ideas. If they're full of anything, it's ideas.
Yeah, that's good.
They're wonderful, and we will refer to them because they really do come up with great angles. And we only have to have one for each and every parameter, so there will be an abundance, and we're going to have fun. It'll be fun to watch. I want to do a really simple card so I can sit back and relax and watch you do what you do, because you don't do very simple things.
Actually,
Sometimes.
they're easy to do
Okay.
if you have the tools, but that's anything. And that's why I like dies, because I don't have to draw anything or, really think about it too much. It just, kind of you have enough of them, you'll cover all the angles. So we'll see. Unless we get large animals or something like that. I don't know. Then I'll be in
Well, we
trouble.
would just take a small aspect of a large animal.
Okay.
A nose, for instance.
Oh, okay.
Or an
All right.
eye looking at you. That's an elephant's eye. Put that sucker on some gray paper and wrinkle it up and you got
There
an
you go.
elephant. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it'll be fun. We'll have fun sharing and figuring out what to do with it. But you did have a question for me before we get started.
I did.
What could that be?
What the heck is craft roulette?
What the heck? Chatterbox, thank you so much for being here, Mr. Producer. You're doing a great job. Eileen will be right back with the answer. Thank you for being here.
What is Craft Roulette? Craft Roulette is a live paper crafts challenge show where the goal is to complete a project that has been randomly selected by the spin of a wheel. There are 4 categories we spin for: project, colors, element, and random. Each category has 24 possible options with a combined possibility of 331,776 unique projects. Whoa. We're live every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central on youtube.com/craftroulette. Please like and subscribe. Each week we bring on a special guest crafter to create along with us and share their unique take on the challenge. You can play too. Complete a unique project of your own using the same 4 parameters set in this episode. You'll have 48 hours to contribute by submitting pictures of your project through the submission form on craftroulette.live. Contributions are featured on marygunfund.com's weekly episode blog and the next episode. Let's recap last week's episode and submissions.
I'd like to veto chipmunk. What? Yep, that's what Craft Roulette is. And we are here Friday, almost every Friday night, and it is a lot of fun. We did have that chipmunk. He was like literally right behind me all afternoon on Tuesday during the show. And then apparently he likes acoustic foam tiles because he chewed a bunch of the tiles. We have acoustic foam all over the room to make it sound dead. And kind of a right up Chipmunk's alley. But I do have a little story on our Facebook group. If you are not in our Facebook group, you are welcome to join us at Facebook. It's a private group, Facebook Craft Roulette Show. So just answer the questions and you can join us and have some fun over there, including my videos and all the things with the chipmunk. Anyway, so much fun. We like to celebrate here on Craft Roulette because I think it's pretty daggum cool that you guys carve out some time and share some cards with us. Every week you just astound me with your quality, and that doesn't mean that it has to be ridiculously complex. I love the simple ones too because I am a simple card maker. So I am very encouraged by simple cards, and I really like seeing those as well as I like to be bowled over by the very complex ones. And we're going to talk more about that as we go along. But we got 342 contributions last week, so we are over 16,000 total contributions in the just over 3 years that we have been on this show. Remarkable. Love it. There's my card. Where's the slimline card, you say? Well, I kind of broke a rule, but didn't break a rule. We had slimline, but then there is a line on the cup that I drew, which is also the random parameter for hand-drawn lines, and I made a slim line, a slim hand-drawn line, and that was how I did that. The Tea Party colors were very vintage to me. That's what I always think of, like the old hankies, so that's the colors I chose. And word was the element. You had to have some kind of word. My word was a sentiment that was mostly about wine, but it was a non sequitur sentiment word. So that's how my cards go. It's okay. I keep coming back. Jayma Malmy was our guest. She was lovely. She was our original guest on episode 21, and it was fun to have her come back. Her card is completely different than mine, as you can see. We are going to talk about the people that are joined us for the first time. We call them first timers. We have a few major milestone achievers, people that have sent in 25, 50, 75, 100 cards, that sort of thing. And then we like to say, well done to our leading ladies. Plus, welcome to welcome to Club 52 if you are new. And we have one, I believe. What is Club 52? Well, nothing. It's nothing, but it's fun.
Shall we bring Eileen in for this?
I'd love to have Eileen to come in. She loves these cards, but we don't want her to get intimidated.
No,
we just want her to be inspired and motivated. So they put us on a timer so that I won't talk forever. So are we ready to welcome our first timers?
Yep, here we go.
Let's do it. Tyra Campbell, welcome to Craft Roulette from Virginia. Maybe you've seen her at the grocery store. Annette from the United States. Well done. That was cute. Robin M. from Arizona. Really did a great job on that word thing. Sherry Ratchet Up Your Art from Texas. Cute. Cindy E. from Arkansas. We are cut out to be friends. That's cute. Sarah Madison from New Zealand. It's a long way away. Fran Mack from Australia. I wonder if they don't know each other. Beatrice from Switzerland. So nice to have you come and join us. Suzanne from Germany. That's so cute. Isn't it, darling?
Yeah.
Sandra from Oklahoma City. Very sweet card. Belinda from Kent, UK. Boy, we got a lot of internationals this week. That's nice. Kim F. from Washington. Well, right up your alley. Up the street. Ilian from the Netherlands. I'm sorry. Judy from Canada.
Nice.
Really cute. Cindy from Florida. There's some dies for you.
I know. Beautiful.
Bonnie from Michigan. Another big, look at that big old die.
Yeah.
And Merritt from Norway. And I'm sorry if I screw up these names. Denise Terry from Ohio. That one I think I did okay. Peggy Sue from Ohio. We talked about this card on in review Tuesday night. April Wurla from Louisiana. I think her husband made one. And Amy from California. That's pretty and delicate. Lisa from New Jersey. Great use of dies.
Yeah.
And our major milestone achievers, we'll start with Mara from Missouri. And that's how you say her name. An original Londoner from Ohio has sent in 25. Vanessa B. has sent in 50. It's her golden milestone. Sue Kramer also has sent in 50. You guys have been with us for so long. It's great. It is still major milestone. 125. You're right. With Smurf, and 125 is her twin in Australia, Jackie. They're not really twins.
We're seeing them again.
Now we're going to see them again because they are leading ladies. Jackie Muller, Smurf Murphy, both with 125 contributions.
Wow.
Kathy Herring has sent in 129, and hers are all just as pretty as that. 5K, now 6K Lamone has sent in 131, and it was a hard week for her. Ellen Card Monkey Jarvis, who you know, has sent in 142 consecutive cards. And our leading lady, Patty Beck, went with Tea Colors instead of Tea Party Colors. Very clever. Amanda Stevens, welcome to Club 52, where you get no perks, no discounts, no extra easy lights, no repositionable foam tape. Plug for Pear Blossom Press, who just has a new product, which Amanda Stevens knows all about. Anyway, well done. And like I said, I truly am totally amazed and touched that you would spend time watching the show, getting the parameters, going to your craft room, making a card, something that we don't tell you what to do. You figure it out on your own and you send it in. You have the nerve to send it in and we get to enjoy it. So well done. We thank you. And we look forward to seeing what you come up with this week. Because you know what time it is, Eileen?
Time to spin the wheel?
Yeah, it's time to start talking about this week's parameters.
All right. Let's do it.
Yep, we're going to do it. This, if you are new to Craft Roulette, this part may be very confusing. Don't worry, we will figure out how to explain it to you, and it may take a while. Sometimes I still am figuring it out. But we are going to go through, after we spin for project, color, element, and random, we're going to go through and talk about it in depth before we move on. But first, we give our patrons a chance to say, we don't want a certain color, we don't want a certain element, and we don't want a certain random parameter. And for colors, they said, oh, no, Mary, no, Easter basket colors, the very bottom. So, veto number 12. Oops, I got ahead.
Sorry, I wasn't even ready yet.
Oh, I got ahead of him.
Okay, what?
For colors, the patrons have vetoed Easter basket, number 24. And for element, they have vetoed spring scene, number 24. I think they're ready for summer. And for random, they want number 7, punctuation. Now, how can anybody not want punctuation? For sake. Yeah. That was their chance to use dirty language in the show. And then they just went ahead and said no.
No.
Now, when we do get a veto, Eileen, it means that the wheel can't make us do it. If we land on those particular parameters, we will just spin again. It doesn't mean that you can't use those things if it works out for the parameters we get. So that's what that means. And if it doesn't make sense, we'll keep talking about it. But we'd like to give you a chance to veto something too, because you're a first-time guest, and there may be something on that board you just go, ugh, what the heck?
Just could not imagine a toy, which I don't know. Okay. I probably could figure it out, but that was the
22.
One. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's kind of a weird one, but every combination is doable. Sometimes a little easier than others, sometimes a little more reasonable than others, but they're all doable. It's very interesting. And we also like to ask our guest, what would you like the wheel to give you tonight?
Well, there were 3 for number 1, but I think my favorite would be number 6, card with pocket.
Okay. Card with pocket.
And then color, I had any color. Any colors.
Not a bad choice. There you go, 22.
Whatever I want, or whatever anybody wants. More choices, the better. And then number 3, I had good, because what's good to everyone is, different. And I'm going for general here, if you didn't notice.
I think that's right. And good to me, see, I look at that and go, what was I thinking when I put it on there? So...
Well, who knows? Anything could strike you at any moment as good.
It's true. It's true.
All right.
And for random, what hits your fancy?
For random, I had tickets.
I just put that on this week.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. It's been off for quite a while, and it just came back on. It's been retired. We do retire the ones that we used the week before. Because otherwise we would, we just have that. Let's spin again. If you do watch,
which happened more times than you might imagine when we were first started.
Yeah. So if you do watch some of the early ones, you'll see that there's so many changes since the early ones, but we stayed true to most of it. Anyway, well, I hope you get what you want, and if you do get what you want, I hope you will help me with what you want. Well, let's give this. We're going to give this guy a warm-up.
Okay.
And then Yes, we're going to get tickets and pocket. Those would go together well. You're right, Leslie. For project. Will we get a card with a pocket? Number 8. Card with flaps. Well, your pocket could have a flap. We're going to talk about each and every one of these in depth in just a second. Colors, what are we going to get tonight? This is a nuance kind of thing. We don't tell you what colors in particular to use. It's kind of how you feel about these things. Winter colors, okay? That'll be good for our friends down south. And for element, a little bit of a challenge for the ones up north, but we'll be okay. Number 23. Children's story. You know, I had a gut feeling I should have taken that one off.
I think there's a lot of ways to do that one. We'll talk about it.
I've looked at that more. Oh, man.
Right.
And for random.
You can always make up a children's story.
There you go.
You're absolutely right. You can make up a children's story about an elephant that had a big eye.
Yeah.
Number 21. Is that right? Tiles.
Tiles, okay.
So it could be a children's board game.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Yes. Okay, well, let's talk about each one of these cards with flaps. Now, there is one. This is going to be an art project. We're not going to tell you what to do. We do want you to work those parameters in if you send in a card. But if you can justify it in your explanation and we can understand what you're saying, we'll go for it. And we'll say, good for you, join the crowd. And but if we can't figure it out, then it's like, no, I think that's too much of a stretch. But we've never had one of those yet. So,
all right,
yeah,
that's good.
over
That's good.
16,000 cards have been just fine. So let's not break that streak.
Okay.
So card with flaps. Literally, some people would say the card front is a flap to a card back, and that would be okay.
We just had in the chat though.
What'd they say?
It is a plural of flaps.
Oh,
It is a plurality. So
Okay.
you are so
I
right.
have an idea for that. That's okay.
I didn't know.
So maybe
So,
just one additional to the
a couple flaps.
card flap, the proper flap. Maybe a micro flap on a proper flap.
Maybe a flap jack. It may be a stack of pancakes. You can do that. You could, what else flaps? Birds. You could have birds in flight. They would be flapping.
Oh,
Yes. So they would have flaps.
okay.
Planes have flaps.
Yes.
Cars have mud flaps. That's not so bad. I had never really thought about this one, but there's a lot of things you could do. Or you could have two pockets and they could have flaps on them.
Yes.
Or any number of little tiny things that would flap.
Oh,
Like
that's
my neck when I'm laughing. So flapper girls. Yes, you could have flapper girls.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
That's a really cute idea.
Butterflies flapping.
Chipmunks
Wonderful.
making the ceiling tile into flaps on your card. You know, maybe I should put some kind of chipmunk thing there.
I think you
I don't
should.
know. Flapping its eyes. No, I'm not sure. I don't know if I could draw a chipmunk, but we'll see. Butterflies have flaps. Butterflies have wings. Do they flap their wings?
Kind of.
We'd have to work on that one maybe, but
Yeah,
maybe.
I think it could fulfill the parameter the same way a bird flapping
bird
would.
could.
Yeah.
That's true.
A book could be flapped open and has flaps.
Oh.
What is a flap?
I think if you were to do the verb, like
The verb of a flap.
the verb of a flap, I think it would have to be visually represented somehow that you would know the bird or the wings were flapping.
In motion. You wouldn't have
you'd
a
have to
still
have some
bird.
sort of
Yeah.
identification that there was movement.
Not just sitting there eating
Yeah.
popcorn.
All right.
Wings don't always flap. So
But
Like
right.
a dead
Right.
bird
A flying bird.
Yeah, a flying bird would work. I like the pocket personally. Just a couple flaps on a pocket, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I want. I don't know. We'll see how.
Just discussing the nuance of flapping, you know.
Yes, yes, yes. Things flapping in the wind is anything could be flap. A screen door.
Laundry flapping in the
Laundry. A screen door. A loose tile.
Flaps on a book jacket.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, see how fast you are. Okay, so I think we've got enough ideas on that one. Winter colors.
I'm thinking like Frozen, like the aquas and whites and icy kind of colors. That's my favorite
Purples.
color. Yeah. Silver.
Purples. Yeah. But you could also have winter forest scenes with greens and whites and browns. Yeah. You could also have a Christmas scene with any kind of decoration colors. So it's more of a nuanced thing where you get to decide if you want to go cold winter, indoor cozy winter.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, by a fire, you get all the reds.
Fire. Yeah.
So it's whatever your interpretation of winter is going to be this week. It doesn't mean that's what you always do. It just means this week, where are you thinking? What comes to mind?
Right.
Maybe it's the colors of your kitchen because you're always in the kitchen in the winter. Maybe it's a big pot of chili. I don't. That would be kind of a crazy color.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, look at I've never seen a card that pretty that's chili brown. So, I don't usually put that much tomato chunks in mine. So anyway, things like that. That's what we're thinking for winter. It doesn't necessarily mean white, but it could be all white. It really could.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
So, yeah, a basically white card. We don't have any kind of size on our card here this week either. So you could have a card that I'm thinking of Kathy Zilski and Michelle Lupton that love those cold or that white background kind of card. They'll be happy with just some tiles with something in there with those winter colors, whichever they choose.
Okay.
About the children's story. The children's story. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. So what are children's stories? Does it have to be one that we would recognize? That would not be good. Because there's children's story from all over the world. How would everyone
know what we would recognize?
Right.
That seems silly.
There's children's story from all over the world.
That's true.
So,
and the whole challenge is coming up with your interpretation, making it to what you know and your styles and choices. So, yes, don't think that the story has to be known by everybody. We would love to find out about children's stories.
Right. We've learned so much. Sue Harris always writes wonderful little posts about the history of London, and I have learned so much from her just by learning about her cards and the history behind them and the things that make her think of it. ABC Rhyme, that would be a really good one for using tiles. Goodnight Moon. And it doesn't have to be the story itself. It can be something related to the story. If it's a children's story like Goodnight Moon, you could have the moon and have a scene with the moon if you love scenes or whatever. And you can fit some tiles in there. But and some flappy tiles. Santa's lap reading a book. Well, Santa actually is a children's story, as a matter of fact. Winnie the Pooh, any kind of those kind of images. That's those are all great ideas.
Yeah.
Mermaids. I know there's some mermaid stamps. They're very popular right now. Alice in Wonderland.
Christopher.
All sorts of stuff. Oh, Christopher was here. He's getting a taste of what he's going to be in for next week. Here we go, Christopher. So does that make more sense to you now?
Yeah. I think I'm good with the children's story. Yeah.
Okay. Even though I don't know what I'm going to do, I think I know what I can do.
I have an idea.
Okay.
All right.
And tiles. tiles can be, okay, an easy thing for me that I think of is tiles with a sentiment. Sentiment broken into pieces would be tiled, right?
Okay.
Or a background that looks like a grid. Maybe
Yeah.
a stencil with a grid in the background would work.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be prominent. It can be very subtle. It doesn't have, it can just be something you see in the distance or barely see.
Yeah.
It just has to be there.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be a children's story in the bathroom during the winter and flapping toilet paper. So it can be, but you could if you wanted to.
Bonus points for whoever makes that card.
Oh, Amanda, that's a good idea.
Sire. Sounds like something Sire would do. An outhouse with a moon in the winter with winter colors and a little bottom. You know those pajamas that had the bottom flaps?
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun gallery. You guys will have fun being creative and very clever. But you don't have to be clever and creative because you can do something really simple something that you feel comfortable with may be very creative to someone else. So think of that. You have something to give. That's how I see it. I just don't know what it is yet.
Me either.
And we just need to know. So are you good?
I am going to be running around looking for all of these things in my craft room.
Me too, girl.
All right.
We will reconvene here in about 2 minutes after we give a little ready, set, go. After you enjoy this.
You can have longer. You can tell us when you're ready to come back.
I will.
This is there there's not we haven't gotten any awards for this ad yet.
I got a couple. I mean, I'm selfish. I kind of kept them to myself.
Our self-awarded ad for In Review. We'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Does card making ever wear you out? Are you just having one of those days? Do you ever say to yourself, I wish there were more Craft Roulette on each week? Well, have we got good news for you? In Review is like part 2 of Craft Roulette, which features you, our card contributors. It'll be easy to find because it airs here on our Craft Roulette YouTube channel. We go live almost every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central, and we do a number of fun things during the show, including Mail Call, where I share some of the nice cards and goodies people send us. Our Card Showcase, where we take a longer look at some of the contributions sent in from the most recent episode. And our Who Done It Mystery Game, where I recreate a card from the most recent episode's gallery, live on air. Everyone in the live chat gets to try and figure out which card I'm recreating. So, if you want more of what we do on Craft Roulette, you'll love our show, In Review. The Who Done It Mystery Game is just a game, and we do not actually solve mysteries, but we do actually solve mysteries. The show is supposed to be on Tuesdays, but we reserve the right to reschedule as necessary. Mary will not always know what she is doing, especially with buttons and or math. Stretchy pants and snacks are not required, but advisable. Please bring a friend. Too much fun for one person included. All right. I'm just going through it, trying to remember what my parameters are. Yes. So card with flaps. I'm going to do an A2 because it's easy. Winter colors. I grabbed a bunch of papers, and I'm not sure, but these may be Brutus Monroe papers. They may be. And I can't remember for sure. But I think those are kind of wintry colors. And I grabbed this little girl that has a teddy bear, and she's telling him a story. So for tiles, tiles. I may make just some gritty kind of thing. Gritty, not gritty, but gritty kind of things in there. and then a couple flaps. Come on, work with me here, card. A couple flaps we'll have to figure out. So we will. I was thinking about having her hide, but that doesn't make any sense. But making sense never meant much to me. So that's the way it goes. All right. Okay. So I think this is watercolor. I have a note on here. It's for watercolor, so I'll have to figure that one out. I could do watercolor tiles in back. Oh, mercy goodness. A chair with a beer. Yeah. And if this had another part, if I could make a flap and I could make a little book, it would be really cute. But I don't think that's going to work this time. The other thing that I thought of was Johnny Appleseed. And I've got this little Johnny, because I have to use winter colors, but it doesn't mean that it has to be a winter scene. So I could do this little girl with Johnny Appleseed. Just never know. I did plant some peach seeds, and they have not managed to show their heads yet. So I don't know. Little girl with a bear? Could I do this one with flaps? Oh, it's got a little squirrel. We could put the little squirrel on a flap. I'm not sure how that would work, but we'll figure out something. All right. So
A little house for the squirrel?
A little squirrel house, and it could have a little door to open. A little door would be a flap, right?
Just let us know when you're ready.
And go, and then he could have a couple little houses with squirrels, and there could be a little neighborhood, and they could all have little doors.
I like that.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea. And then put it on a background with some.
That
with
almost
some
sounds like
tiles.
you're inventing a children's story.
Well, I do tend to think in children's terms. So it isn't that far off. So if I make a tile, kind of a tile thing going on, play a little bit. It's Friday night. Let's play. The tree could be a flap. That's a big concept. A leaf as a flap. That's a great idea, Cecilia.
We're getting word from Virginia.
Really? I thought her name was Eileen. But I'll be here all week.
All right.
Right. Okay.
Oh, look at you being all prepared. What in the world are you up to?
I collect these. So Golden Book Children's Stories. It's a start. This is winter color, I would say. Kind of that icy blue.
Yeah?
And I also happen to have a die called the Tiled Alphanumeric. So maybe if I use these dies to make a title with,
Yeah.
then that would be good. And also, I was gonna use some of these pages to make like a little flap. I'm thinking of making a hidden paper clip that will go over the front of my card with a message on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. You're doing
Well,
great.
That's the thought. We'll see how it goes. All right. So do we just start doing it? Is that the idea?
Ready,
Let's
set,
start.
go.
All right. Okay. Well, let's
Leslie
see.
Miller says, hooray. Loving that, Eileen. Great idea
Okay.
from Not Afraid to Color.
All right.
Yeah. The fan
All
club
right.
is on
fan club
board.
All right. Let me see. I'm looking for a die that I'm going to use to cut it out because this is kind of thick.
You're just getting right after it. That's a girl. That a girl.
Will that
All you
work?
can do.
Yeah.
It's sink or swim.
All right. Well, let's
Swim.
All right. I'm going to use my blade, which I received today from Leslie. They get
nice.
nervous when I cut things by hand, but I don't know why. I'm going to cut my cover.
What? Oh, wowzer.
I knew this would come.
This is a first.
What?
On Craft Roulette.
Really? Using a craft knife?
No, book mutilation.
Oh, don't report me, for heaven's sake. All right, I think this is going to fit right on here. I might have to trim it off a little. Right, let me get my back.
Book mutilation sounds a little harsh.
Well, it's...
Coming to random parameters.
They're not in the best shape, you know, and usually they write in them all over the place. I'm just going to cut these out too. Well, it's, you know, they need to have life put back in them. These are so cute. These little,
they are so cute.
Golden books. Look at how that cuts, Leslie. That is amazing. All right. There's probably something I can do with that, but I don't know what. All right. Oh, there's Peter. Look at that. All right. I even like those little guys, you know. All right. It did hurt a smidge. I know, guys. I'm sorry, but
I'm completely e-reader, so I'm fine.
All right. Probably all on the internet.
Just trim this off a little bit.
And it is a matter of, it is going to be, get a little extra life.
Yeah. Well, I'll look at it, you know, and whoever gets it is lucky.
Very lucky.
Maybe.
I believe.
We'll see.
I believe.
I just have to keep using this. It's so handy.
You'll be able to use that all over further projects, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I would use all these little pages. Yeah. All right. So let's cut our major cover here.
So did you like Peter Pan when you were a kid?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think about Captain Hook? Does he still,
No. That was scary.
He really was scary, wasn't he?
Yeah, what a creep.
Menacing character.
Yeah, I was afraid of him.
Do you have alligators in Virginia?
No, thankfully.
No.
I did like the idea of flying, and I think that's why I liked it.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
the story, because that was the best. He would just fly around.
Do you have Tinkerbell in this little book? Because you could use Tinkerbell with flaps, couldn't you?
Oh, maybe. Let's see.
She flies.
She does. There she is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. She's got to be somewhere else. She's kind of small, but she is tiny.
Is Peter or is he flying in any of the pictures?
Yeah, he and she are flying at the same time.
He's gonna have some kind of flaps.
He seems to be just kind of.
Maybe put a little flap on his suit.
Where did I
put pocket?
That? Oh, there they are together. Now there's her wings. He's sitting there. Oh, there.
You could have her wings. You could count them as two. He's flying. Yeah. One flap, two flap.
Yeah,
one and true. Two and cha cha cha.
There they are.
It's Tinkerbell's dance school.
All right. Well, yeah, those are good colors though for the winter.
They are.
Is the wicked leader Captain Hook. Oof.
Run, Jack, run. Hook is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that is
a good movie. Run home, Jack. Run home, Jack.
All right, let's see what we got here.
I'm having an apostrophe.
All right, this is a little thicker than I cut, so guess what? I'll get my blade out again.
Handy little thing.
Yeah, well, these are extra thick, and you know the dies are only supposed to go through a certain. Oh no, I chopped Wendy in half, but maybe I can make her a flap and she can swing around.
She can be on a gatefold.
You can dance. Dance, Wendy.
See, look how you're just taken to this like Peter to the sky.
I don't know about that, but it is fun to play with ideas for sure. I just don't know if they're going to work, but
that's how life is. We are just a microcosm of it.
True. And don't you feel like crafting is like problem solving? I mean, this whole show is like, how am I going to do that? I think
it's a little bit of both. It's also problem avoidance because I can sit in here and not think about anything else.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That is
so
true.
but it's also, you're right. We have to go, okay, now we got to do this and that. But yeah.
I think Wendy is going to have a little flap here because I don't want to lose her. So I'm going to do a little repair back here.
I may have to watch Hook after this.
I love this little gadget. This is, you can clamp it on anywhere.
Oh my goodness.
And use tape. Yeah. Oops.
They have a couple little squirrel houses that are flaps.
Oh, cute.
We'll see.
All right, let's see here.
And for people that watch Craft Roulette, this is the one that has my favorite little saying, and it's going to go right across those tiles. You are a wonderful person.
Aww.
I know. Great. Except if you were a squirrel, you'd say, you are a, I'm not going to tell you. Because squirrels are jerks that way. I know. Right. I've been hanging out with the chipmunk kind of thinking in their terms.
All right, let's
how does a chipmunk think?
Maybe
quickly. So I'm using really light colors, I think. So it'll look wintry.
All right, let's see about a color that matches Wendy's dress. What do you think? Does that look good? For a card base?
Oh yeah, I like it.
It's winter. And he kind of looks like there's no leaves on the trees. Either that or they're scary. I don't know. I don't want to think about it. Right, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. I don't know, guys. I'm just making it up. I'm not even reading the chat. I'm just trying to survive here.
That's exactly all right. It truly is. We may have, and then put some, that's too bright, so we'll have to figure out something.
Maybe I'll do a couple flaps because I have extra paper.
Well, you holler when you're ready to talk to us about, have some questions from our patrons, and I want to get to know you better too. So,
oh, go ahead. I'm good.
You're good to go. Okay, don't want to rush you.
No, I'm.
Well, you can talk and chew gum and craft at the same time without falling off your stool.
Maybe. We'll find out.
We'll find out. It's right.
Go for it.
Well, we do have a tradition here at Craft Roulette. We always ask our guests.
Oh, yes.
Not if it's their favorite color, but which of these two colors do you like more than the other? Do you tend to like orange or purple more?
Well, kind of a long story. Well, I don't know. I never did really like purple. I don't know why.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I had a dress that was purple. I liked that. But as far as working with it, I don't know why, but I never kind of took to it. Mm-hmm. But I like it now because a lot of people do like it, and I'm kind of coming to terms with it. But the other thing was I never liked orange because when I was in high school and college, I worked on the New York State Thruway, and our uniform was this hideous orange uniform. We called them our pumpkin suits. and they were just so horrible. And they were like polyester, so you'd be sweating in them. And I don't know, orange has never thrilled me after that. Actually,
a little post-traumatic stress on orange.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. But actually now it's I like it because it's kind of warm and it goes. The other thing I never did was put orange and pink together, and now I don't like that. So I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on there, but
you're just getting wise.
yeah. I think.
So what are you saying? So do you say, yes, I am Team Orange, or
orange? I say orange.
You are.
Yeah, I'm
Girl,
going.
You're my people. We did talk a little bit about this, and when I said this word, red orange, which is probably 2 words, when I said this word, red orange, you went, oh yeah, that's a beautiful color.
Yeah, I love that kind of red. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I would go. I just started doing watercolors, and there is a color in my set that I just love it to make roses with or whatever. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm kind of stuck.
Well, I was just pondering myself for a moment. Trying not to quick glue. I'm notorious for gluing quickly.
All right.
I'm trying not to, because I'm thinking that, like their little house could basically be a gatefold card, and then you open it up on this way. Then I don't have to make 2 houses, just 1.
Oh, yes.
I've been on this show before. I know how it works.
Yeah. I wasn't able to see what you were doing because I had that chat box, but I moved it.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. Yeah.
Well, now that I can kind of relax now that I know you're Team Orange.
Yeah. We got to sit together.
I can chill. Yeah. I can relax. I'm in good shape.
I'm happy. All right.
And Gwen Simmons asked, patron Gwen Simmons, who she and I play Waffle, a word game, which is sometimes very awful waffle. But she asks, how did you get started on your paper crafting adventure? Because you kind of have a real adventure.
It's always an adventure, but it started with doing needlework. Actually, we were in the military. My husband was in flight school in the Army. We had no money, and all our friends were having babies, and so I was doing a lot of stitching because it was fairly inexpensive, and we would give that to our friends when they would have babies or get married. And so I started matting and framing these stitching projects that I did. And I would go over to the Arts and Crafts Center on Post, and I would, because they had all the supplies, I didn't have to buy that stuff. And I started matting and framing, and I loved it. And I kept the mat board because I just loved how sturdy it was, and it came in really pretty colors, and some of it was embossed or suede or whatever, different glue. And so I started keeping the stuff that was inside called the fallout and playing with it because I couldn't throw it away because it was beautiful. And so that's when I started making boxes and books and stuff like that. But the problem was it wasn't always perfect because if you cut a little too deep, you would, it would fall off. Or if you were a little bit off, it didn't line up. And so I eventually came to figure out that a die that could cut and score would make it perfect every time. So that's how I decided to go to I was also doing stuff for books and magazines. I was doing craft fairs, and I always like to make stuff, but after a while you kind of have to offload some because you just keep it all. So I thought, well, I'll make a little money. And so I was doing craft shows every weekend. And I eventually wound up going to this trade show, CHA, and I had some samples, and I got a booth there. And so I went to Sizzix and said, do you think you could make a die that would cut and score and make these perfect things every time, books, boxes, and stuff like that? And had also just written a book that was about matting and framing. It was actually about making 3D projects out of mat board. And so they saw what I was talking about, and they said, yeah, that's a good idea. So that was 15 years ago. And now we're still making these 3D projects, and they're really fun. And also
you've
getting
written 6 books.
no,
right?
well, yeah, some were ebooks. So once we got going and we had, the dies in circulation, people were like, well, what do we do with these? So we did idea books for 4 of them. So I wrote Matboard Magic and Foam Board Magic, which are real books. And then I wrote 4 ebooks. And we're going to do another one this summer, I think.
Oh, great.
So, yeah. All right.
You get past the title? I've written like a gazillion books, never got past the title.
Well, the fun thing was I didn't have to think of the title because it was for a company, Logan Graphics. They asked me to write the books. So they came up with the titles, which I thought they were kind of corny, but it's like, well, that wasn't my. Yeah, they work. So now, I don't know, embossing, tiles, let's see.
Are you doing all right?
I don't know. I've got my base done, I think. I have a couple flaps. So now, what else should I do to this? All right, let me look to my phone of friends out there.
That's the ones.
Any ideas, guys? All right.
Do you want to put pages inside, or do you?
I could do a little video. That would be cute.
Uh-huh.
Yes. All right. Let's do some cardstock. What do we have here?
I think you'd feel comfortable doing that.
I would.
Yeah.
I would like that. All right.
That's kind of your wheelhouse.
Well, kind of. Actually, the thing that I really like is to do the construction part, and then after it, I kind of lose interest.
Oh.
Sometimes. It depends. But to me, the fun part is like designing it and making it work and having it be a sturdy thing. But I'm not a real big embellisher. I just kind of stall sometimes. That's why I'm panicking, but it's all going to be okay.
I think you're doing real well.
Well, it's funny because I usually do different colors, so this is kind of a little bit weird for me.
Your
but
little house, they may not have the tree in here after all that tree made.
Right, Eileen. I remember crafting. Oh, wow. Yes. Hi, Susie. Yes, I was there. That was fun. Wow, these are blasts from the past. I see Ellen and Susie.
Oh, yeah. Well, 15 years, you know a lot of people.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
And I'm a blabbermouth, so I talk to everybody. So, yeah.
Friendly. You're friendly.
Well, sometimes it comes in handy because you find stuff out. As my children now,
It is
like,
true.
Well, I talk to people. That's how I know.
Yeah. We've met some nice people. I met a really nice person on a shuttle bus a couple months ago, and we exchanged numbers, and my daughter was going, do you think we could just not do that, Mom? Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, do you have to talk to everybody in Target? It's like, yeah, you do. You're not talking to me. I'll make other.
You're on your phone.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, those little goofballs. God love them.
Yeah.
All right. How did that get to?
Okay, there's one flap.
All right.
The little squirrel house is coming together.
Well, that's why, because I couldn't see where I had measured. It's too big.
The Clarences of the world. Could I show their little faces? If I had a little, I don't know, that might mess it all up. You put that there. I need to cover that hole, since I'm not going to use the tree. I have in the background. I think we're going to do this.
All right, let's sew this.
Person, tree come into being. Cozy. Huh,
So are you going to come up with a story to fit this card, Mom? Because I'm racking my brain, and I cannot remember a children's story
about two squirrels that live in a house? You don't remember that one, Stephen?
And they owe 3 months rent. They don't have anything in the fridge.
There's no nuts in the pantry. It was a terribly sad story. Until Peter Pan flew by. Because it really is, they were in Neverland.
Living peanut to peanut.
Living peanut to peanut.
Oh, he's good.
He's full of baloney.
Well,
And that was, I thought
That's
for
the name
sure
of the,
I read that.
That's
You
the
must have
name
been
of the story. Peanut to peanut, or peanut to peanut.
You must have
Whatever
been
you
asleep
wanted to
when I read
Chippendale.
that.
I watched the old Disney Chippendale. Yeah, you're right. You called me out. I'm wrong. Of course, there was a children's story with two chipmunks.
These could be
Well, and
The
then-
Rangers.
instead of.
and
they
you
could be
also have
chipmunks.
the Alvin and Theodore and what's the other guy?
I saw the house, and it was chipmunk size.
Oh,
In my brain, I just didn't understand.
Well, I'm telling you, I thought you were much more clever than that. Thought you'd know that story. It's an old German story about the chipmunks. No,
Is that
it's not.
Mary?
Was it not German? They lived in the North Pole.
You gotta watch out for German children's story.
They can be-
don't end well.
That's true.
Der Strubelpeter. I used to be so traumatized by my grandmother's stories.
Oh wow.
They were tough.
Yeah. Yes.
About a
they were.
kid that wouldn't eat their soup and they died. It was
They
terrible.
ran it. And I always think of Hansel and Gretel sticking the chicken bones out, and
Yeah,
saying,
it's some stuff. It gets the
Alright.
point across.
I think I need bigger.
Yes.
holes.
So this is the Hansel and Gretel of the chipmunks. They go and find the witch's house. This is the witch's house. And they're just having a good time until they. Fractured Fairy Tales, I think, is what this is. I am going to use that sign. Fractured Fairy Tales was a great cartoon.
I don't remember that one.
It was on Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll watch that.
It was brilliant. It would have a little boy with blue hair and blonde eyes. I remember
wow.
that one.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, just
So
switch it around.
contrary.
So we'll just make this into a retelling, a la Hollywood, a retelling of Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel, the little squirrels, chipmunks, found their way.
Chippendale works really well.
Found their way into a craft studio.
Now we don't have to have a greeting, or do we? Or
Whatever you want.
okay. I need to tie this stupid thing here.
If it makes sense to the story.
I don't know
Like
what
mine
this-
never does.
I
but-
don't know what this would say.
Yeah.
I am a card with flaps. Here's your graduation present.
It could be a
I don't
musical.
know. See,
A
I
great
like
musical. I'm a card with flaps. Starring George Clooney.
Oh, let's see. If I had time, I would spell out. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do have some. I might have some letters already.
Be your
Wait.
lucky day.
I don't know. It just looks plain. It's not done. All right, I'm going to the group here. You still need tiles. Yes, I need tiles. Okay, that's what I need to do.
So, Card Monkey Jarvis, you told me before the show when you saw her in the chat that you knew
Yeah.
her And I thought that
Yes.
was so fun to have that
I
connection.
know. It was great.
Ellen's a great friend of Craft Roulette. We love her here. And she
Yes.
asks about a certain trailer that you have or had.
Yes. That was
She
my
asks,
study. Yeah, that
do
was
you
my
still
study.
travel the country in your
Well,
turquoise trailer
I
along with the paper trail, or is the trailer for only for expos, or is it retired?
Wow. No, it is not retired, but it is not in great shape either.
Oh,
So
huh.
I need to renovate, but I am talking with somebody about doing another trip. So it could be coming back. Let's
Oh,
hope. I don't know. We will
well, that would be
see.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I used to do 2-month trips and that's just too long. I can't
Oh,
go for
jeepers, that is long.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's just too much. But um
So
I don't
tell us
know.
the story that you told me before the show about how you knew Ellen.
Yeah, well, I did this trip called the Paper Trail, and I would take my show on the road, just take my dies, and I'd design a couple classes and contact some stores and people and say, I'm coming your way on this day. Would you want me to come and visit you? And
Mm-hmm.
so Ellen was my first stop. And I remember this was low budget. So
Mm-hmm.
she, the first night, I made it halfway to Philadelphia, which is near Ellen, and
Mm-hmm.
I had gotten a hotel room on Priceline that was $32,
Oh, that was
and
a Jim Dandy.
well, I got to it at about 12:30 at night because it took me so long to pack that I only had to go like 3 hours, but I went to check in. It was about midnight, and I went to the desk to get my key, and there was no
Mm-hmm.
one there. And there was a sign that said, "Go to the Red Roof Inn to get your key." And I was like, "The Red Roof Inn? Where is that?" So I had to Google that, or I don't know how I got there. And I got my key. Then I went back and I got to the room, and I swear there was a piece of duct tape on the door, and there were bullet holes that looked like bullet holes. I don't know on the door, and it said like 32 or whatever. I don't know what it said. I was like, I probably should have sprung for a more expensive.
You stayed?
I stayed. Well, it was 12:30 at night, and my trailer has no bathroom or toilet or anything like that. And so I what can I say? I've moved up a
You.
little.
Goodness, that was bold.
Yeah. So Ellen said I was her first stop. So I got there, and I went to. Well, she had me to her house, and we kind of saw her where she creates, which was amazing. Her
Mm-hmm.
paper jungle. And then I think we went and we had dinner with some friends at a pizza place, and we also did a project. And then the next day, what did we do? I went to that Kathy, Ellen, what was her last name? She was a big name designer for Hallmark. I can't remember
Mm.
her name. Kathy somebody. She was so nice. And they showed me around her studio, and I kind of felt like the Beverly Hillbillies pulling into a nice brick building in Pennsylvania, but they were so nice and kind, and it was great.
They put
I like
they put a
some
20 in your bag, sneak a 20 in.
good luck to you, honey. No, they were really nice. So I'm gonna take this, and I like the idea of saying fly high. So I'm gonna
It's a
spell
good
out
children's story.
well,
Lie high. I like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be the name of, you know what? I'm just going to do a whole different page because that's too much tearing.
Not straight.
All right, guys, this is not my best work ever, but I'm enjoying the company.
There you go. That's okay.
So that's what I care about.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Irene Smith also has a question
What's that?
about that's kind of related to that. And she says, small crafting spaces are always a challenging for organization. Could you please share any organizational tips you have learned from crafting on the road? That's a great follow-up
Oh,
question.
that's a good idea. Yeah. I do that now too because we have a house at the beach, which we go out to a lot, and I always bring way too much stuff. But I did organize like a little bag that I have, and whatever fits in it, I take. So whatever I'm working on, I might do like stitching, but I don't bring every color of floss that I have, or, I only bring what I think I'll use. Even then, half the time I don't use it, but
Right.
I have it, and that's important.
Yeah. It's kind of a guarantee that you won't
Yeah, pretty
go
much.
too crazy.
Yes.
So we do have a talk. We often talk about what would you take for craft roulette when you leave for a weekend, and a lot of people have some great ideas on that. It's like you have to carry a whole little craft room.
Yes, that's true. Well, that's like going to a crop or a retreat,
Mm-hmm.
and people do bring a craft room. I mean, that's
they
amazing.
do.
Yeah. All right. I know that I'm not paying
Hansel
enough.
and Gretel. We know
God.
that they're Hansel and Gretel. So you just kind of take basic stuff that you can use in multiple ways?
Yeah, well, I have a big shot out at the place, so I don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can just kind of, go with what I want. Like lately I've been doing watercolor, and actually I kind of like to watercolor in unconventional things. So I had an old book there because I hadn't brought my watercolor paper with me, and I started this watercoloring in this old book page, which, sorry if you guys don't like when people kind of take old books and don't read them, or, but I watercolored in that. But again, it's like it was just sitting there,
Right.
and it's pretty. All right.
Some books are a little harder to see just reused than others.
Well, yeah. It wasn't a phone book. I collect, as you can see, I collect vintage books, so I have kind of a collection of them, and it's like, well, I collected them. Now what? I should use them, So why?
Good point.
All right.
Well, blue apples.
Oh, yours is fancy.
No? It just has a lot of pattern. So it looks like there's a lot going on. It's not fancy at all. This has pattern. Now, if it were just plain old cardstock or colored pictures, like with crayons, it wouldn't look fancy at all.
Well, I need another H.
Well, Chelsea Comer has a question for you, ma'am.
Oh, Chelsea, how are you?
You guys are die lovers and creators. She says, I have quite a few of your dies in her collection, and they are some of her favorites.
Oh,
curious
that's nice.
Where your inspiration for dies come from.
Well, that could be anything. Mostly things that I want, So it's like, I guess I just think if I want it, maybe other people would want it too. So
there you go. That seems reasonable.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when I started with Sizzix, they wanted me to make shapes. Like, I'm not an artist. I'm more of a builder, and I don't draw really that much. So they wanted me to make like shapes, like a teapot or something artistic. And to me, it was like, well, that's always has to be a teapot. Like, if I made a box, you could put your own teapot on it, or you could draw one, or you could, do whatever you want. And so to me, that has more options. So we eventually worked that out, and they're like, yeah, stick to your thing.
Yeah.
So I do my thing now. Because
good.
Yeah, it's just,
if somebody doesn't have dies, what would you suggest for them?
Well, you mean to cut things out? I mean, a lot of people.
What would you suggest for beginner kind of dies?
Well, I would say like basic shapes are good. Like the I am not a real huge thin lit kind of like the real teeny tiny, and you're gonna laugh
Okay.
when you see my next collection come out because it's teeny tiny. But
Huh.
I like the sturdy, blocky, like a generic book that
Uh-huh.
you can put anything on. I mean, that's just kind of how I
Yeah.
uh, think of it. But that's me. Everybody. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about it too. Everybody has their own likes and things that they like to do. So, whatever that is, there's probably a die for it.
I
Or,
think you're right. I think you're
you
right.
know,
There's so
yeah,
many dyes these days. Yeah. It's
yeah,
good
I
though.
think investing in a machine is not anything you would ever regret. Like, it's just so useful. Especially like me, if you don't draw, it's like, yeah, I'll just
Right?
cut it out. And oh, by the way, I need 100 of them. So yeah, I'll just keep watching Netflix movie.
Yeah. Good
So,
point. Good point. So how's your card book going?
well, I think what I'm gonna do is put this actually could be a graduation card because if I think that I could put like some money in here or a gift card and I could put who it belongs to. So it's kind of
That's
a
cute.
secret tuck. And then over here I can say fly high and do Peter and have Peter and Tinkerbell flying and then write my little message and we're done. That's what I'm thinking.
Not
What
too
do you
shabby. You did well.
well,
You're doing well. I like it.
well,
And
And take
my
your
yeah,
my
time.
my children's story is I'm looking at this more a children's story-ish.
okay.
And
You
I
want to
should have
tell us
instead
the
of
story?
doing what you are a wonderful person. Once upon a time there was a person who was
Yeah.
wonderful. It was you.
Oh,
Nice. A nice sweet little thing.
that's
But I blew it, so that's how it's going to stay.
oh well. I'm looking for a new gadget, which is this little thing that picks up tiny. Wait, I'm gonna have to use my old one, but I have a nice new Sizzix one. But that's okay. All right, because these are gonna
I
be.
think a little brat
Let's see.
work here too. And my winter colors are green for trees, evergreens, blue for coldish feelings,
Okay.
and blue for coldish feelings because that's all I've got.
Well, blue is kind of a cold color.
Yeah.
I like it though.
Unless you were talking to Heather Telford's husband.
Oh, what is
and
he?
he, we had cool colors as a parameter, and he pointed out that blue is the hottest part of a flame.
No. We
Oh,
had
What?
hot colors.
We had hot colors, and he
oh,
chose,
And he
and he
chose
said
blue
blue.
as a hot color because of the heat.
oh, all right. He's thinking.
I
See,
tell
I
you.
think of like when you have a faucet or something, there's red and blue is the cool, cold.
Right,
Okay,
right.
these two.
So we just took those parameters right off and
Yeah.
never to have them return.
Well, that's how you do it. You set
Yep,
your own
yep.
rules.
This, he's just going to have to wind that around there. It's not, it didn't catch it after all. Round. Get complicated, but it's going to get okay.
There's probably better ways to do all of this stuff, but
I think here too.
I think yours is really cute, Mary. Oh, I think it's so neat, this community that you have. You have
They're
done a
the
lot of work.
best.
Yes. Well, I mean, I can't say the best because I have
I
my
know.
guys too. They're really good, but maybe we could, both have the same.
Yes, I think so.
Both
There's
say
room at the table, I do
yes.
believe.
Well, it's all community, and I love that.
There, it's got its little door lock. Just like I just needed some duct tape with some bullet holes in it.
And you can go to Eileen's channel by clicking her name in the title of this video and subscribe.
Thank you. Yeah.
Please do that. You won't be
fan
sorry.
Club. We'd love to have you. Eileen Hull Fan Club on Facebook. We have, and if you think this looks fun, I mean, this, like I say, it's not my best, but it's on the fly, so you have to give me some leeway. But we do make really fun things, and we all share what we're working on. It's a really nice community, and you can.
Wonderful.
We do Facebook Lives twice a week on Tuesday and Thursday, and we usually make a project and we share stuff there. We just have a nice group, so we'd love to have you along.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just all hang out together all the time. It's wonderful.
Yeah. It'd be fun. Why not?
Oh, my silly. See, I quick glued. I shouldn't have glued that so fast, and I could have had more of a cohesive children's story, but maybe I'll just have to write one on the inside.
The whole thing doesn't have to be a children's story, though, just an element.
I felt a lot of pressure.
Could you add another
in that house?
Could you do a flap that says whatever else you want to say, or
inside?
Like have something coming out? Yeah, inside. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
You are a wonderful person, and you would never trap Chip and Dale in a house in the forest. I believe that. Well, I've got my 2 flaps, Eileen. I'm good.
All right.
They've got 2 little doors.
All right. Well, then we're
Even
we're
though
in
it
business.
wasn't what it was supposed to be.
Coming along. All right.
Leave well enough alone.
All right. I don't know why they would think that I would do a Peter Pan theme to them, but still.
Well, maybe it's somebody that's graduating from flight school.
Grow up. Well, there you go. See, cycle. It's what do you call it?
Full cycle. Or
I'm thinking
your dad.
I was thinking of my husband went to flight school, so subconsciously I was thinking of flight school and Peter Pan, and who knows where half of this stuff comes out of. I don't know. Oh, there's mermaids.
May's here to cheer you on.
Hey, how are you? See, I knew I would. I knew she was coming.
Yeah.
I was nervous because she is such a good crafter. You guys are gonna love working with her. She's like she's doing none of this nonsense here.
You are doing so fine. You are doing so fine. Explain if you are just coming in late, this is Craft Roulette and the ultimate paper crafting card making game show challenge. And we are here almost every Friday night doing some card improvisation. This week we get to spend some time with and get to know Eileen Hull as she makes an incredible little card, which she never makes. She's not a card maker and she's making something fantastic. And we are working with these parameters: cards with flap, winter colors, children's story, and tiles. And my card's pretty much done except for the envelope, which I'm never going to put in because I keep all my cards from the show. So
I get that. All right.
So I don't have to have an envelope. But that's what we're doing, and that's what we're doing, having some fun with. And you took a classic book, Peter Pan and Wendy, and are making a very unique card, which is kind of what we do. We make cards that have never been made before.
That's for sure.
Yeah, things that you would never have ever made. But it's not a bad thing. It's really a cool thing.
I don't know about that, but all right. I'm going to make a little pocket to put the money in.
There you go.
I'm going to trim that off a little bit. And I think I'll do like a little slash pocket here.
We are going to tell everybody how they can play along. I see that some cards are already coming in.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We'll see if we can top 342, which we had this week.
Wow.
You just
I was going to say, if there's
Yeah.
anybody from the group that wants to play this, we could, and post them in the group, in our group too, but post them over here. So Mary can.
Yes, please
Good,
do.
you guys
And
If you do play, please submit to our website so it gets
We'd
on the
love that.
slideshow and in the gallery. It doesn't take an account to submit. You can just go to the website, use the form, and
enjoy the website. It's been getting lots of updates. So it
Yeah,
should be
you're-
pretty easy to navigate. There is a lot over there.
need to clue this in.
a lot of people have been using the website though, and it's very good. I'm happy.
Good.
Yeah, we've been adjusting,
I've
Mr.
been
Producer.
having to fight with servers and database clusters and
a
a
lot of
bunch
work
of
on
fun stuff.
He speaks Greek all the time.
All right. I hope they'll figure out that they should. I didn't want to cut off Peter and Wendy, so.
I think
But I'll put the
no, it's
person's
too
name
cute.
there, their money. So maybe I should have cut it thing so they could see there was something in there. But you can have it sticking out the edge there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
get that, and then
You could have
they,
a poll here kind of thing.
Well,
Yeah.
we are getting questions about tiles. And
Oh, you're she
yeah.
used tiles.
no, I was
use-
going to say we just might need to point them out. 'Cause
Mhm.
oftentimes,
Well, what I should have done. Oh shoot. Well, you know what?
Because
I'll
we
spell
have-
something else out. Where did my thing go? Wait a minute.
We have Deputy Heidi. She's always
Uh,
making sure we get all of our parameters in there.
That's good. That's a good thing. I'm
The
looking.
badge, and she knows how to flash it.
All right. I'm looking for where I put my.
But she had Eileen used a die cut that had tiles that had letters, and she wrote
And I
"Fly
think-
High."
Where
And
did it
so,
go?
since she had used that die,
Okay.
which is a die cut, or a die, it worked out.
But what I could do, because what the fun thing about this is, I can spell out something else on the title.
LOVE.
Yes, and then we sign. All right.
There you go. And you can use the negative space too, and then it will
Yes.
look like a tile. Yeah.
Thank you,
Smart.
whoever said that.
There you go.
Yeah, this is so much
Yeah.
fun. There is nothing better than tearing out these little perforated things. They're so much fun. All
We
right.
have a rock star in our group. We call her. She goes by Grandma Gay,
Yes, I
she-
saw her.
and she always asks a thoughtful question of the day.
Oh, okay.
And her thoughtful question for you is: you're walking through a grove of trees. What do
Hmm.
you take back to your studio? Ideas? Rest? Actual items to work into mixed media projects? Or
Oh, she is good. Actually, yes, I would get some specimens because I have been pressing flowers lately, and
Oh.
that's what I would take. I would go get some leaves, and you can do fun stuff with pine cones too. And
Mhm.
is it a forest or a meadow? Because
she said a grove of trees.
grove of trees. All right, well, leaves definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are good.
Some wildflowers.
Yeah, if they had them. Yeah.
Mhm. Did you ever paint with sticks? You said you paint at the
I
the
paint
beach.
kind of traditional things like
Okay.
brushes. But, you could,
You
or
could.
you could do on a gel press and get the imprints, and there's all
Uh-huh.
kinds of stuff.
You are so right. Good question, Grandma Gay.
Yeah. Grandma Gay, you're deep.
Yes, she is. She's adorable. She's deeply adorable. We just love her to pieces. Well, I'm going to go and review my card for Deputy Heidi's approval since she's here with her badge of flashing. The project was card with flaps, and my flaps are these two little doors that you can go in to see the little chipmunks so that they won't come into my studio. The winter colors that I chose were the blues and some green from some very pale evergreens because they are so cold. They're pulling in all their chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, yes. The chloroform is the one that makes you die, right? And then my children's story is just basically we've got a bunch of chipmunks living in a house with a tree with blue apples. That's a fractured fairy tale just waiting to be explained.
I think you should write a book, Mary.
I may. And for tiles, I used little squares of pretty paper for the background for my sentiment, which is always one of my favorites. You are a wonderful person.
That reminds me of Mr. Rogers. I loved him,
Yeah, good guy. Good guy. So now you've definitely got your tiles accounted for. Very easy to see. Yeah.
All right, because I don't want to get in trouble.
No.
Okay.
No, she's tough.
All right. Great.
So do you want to walk us through your card?
Here. Do I what? Want to
walk us through and how you justified all your parameters?
All right. Wait, let me find my list. All right.
We had a card with flaps.
Card with flaps. I have 1 flap, 2 flap, well, 3, 4, really.
Yeah.
If you want to go that far. The winter colors, I think the blue, green forest, kind of wintry trees there. Children's story, Peter Pan and Wendy, and tiles. These right here. Word tiles.
You did it.
And this is, I'm sweating, man. So cute, though.
Well done. Aren't you proud? I'm proud of you.
Would you have made this without these prompts?
No.
Me neither.
Never. I wouldn't have thought about it. But, it kind of does open up your thinking, when because I'm so used to just making what I want that to be disciplined a little bit is a good way to do that problem solving and, come up with other ways to do things. So that was good. I like it. I think it's cute.
Cool. Well, I think you did great. I do. I love the fact that it's a card and you don't make cards, but it's not a card, as we say on the ad. We solve mysteries, but we don't solve mysteries. It is a card, but it isn't a card. And you made it very uniquely Eileen, and I love it.
Well, thank you.
So well done. Well done.
And, I'll have to go back and look in the chat and see what everybody was saying because I was so freaked out. I didn't have time to look there. So
I spend my Saturday morning reading them. It's fun.
Oh, I bet.
Sit down with some coffee and read the stories, and the chat is wonderful. It really is. Cordelia sent in hers. Well done. Well, we're going to let you relax for a minute, and we'll come back and let you say goodnight.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. Well done. Because we want to let everybody know how they can play. Use those same 4 parameters, the card with flaps, winter colors, children's story, and tile or tiles, and send it to craftroulette.live. This is all done digitally. Don't send me the card. You don't have to. It needs to be in Sunday evening by midnight. If you're a patron, you can send it in. You have the rest of the week till Thursday at midnight as well. It's a lot of fun. Just remember all 4 of the parameters, and if you could, just tell us how you fit them in. It would be great. We have wonderful guests coming up. Christopher was in the chat earlier. He'll be here next week. I'm looking forward to meeting him. Laura Basson after him. May Mayhem. If you're still here, we're really looking forward to having you on. Amanda Stevens after that. And then a bright and shiny penny from England, Vicky Ruda, will be joining us. So we look forward to having all these wonderful people that we get to hang out and just craft and chat. It's wonderful. I love it. Thank you for letting us do it. And the people that make it so that we can do it are these people, the patrons. They allow us, they fund us so that we can pay our bills, which apparently our servers or prices are going to be going up because we get so many hits on our website, which is awesome. So you guys are going to be helping us out with that. You got me a new chair. I'm going to send you a picture of that on our Patreon blog. We also have some, I think it's on the website. It explains the different patron levels and the different bonus content that you get. So you can check that out too. Do have a club fun call tomorrow at noon Central Time. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, crafters and craftettes. It's just a very casual time. We had a fun little happy birthday card call yesterday. Enjoyed seeing you, talking to you, catching up, and making some stuff with you. If you are on the card exchange, you may want to start looking at those June, see, I know what month it is, June birthdays, and get those cards ready to send out. Because there's going to be some people celebrating. Thank you guys. We really appreciate you. That confetti only means one thing. Either Patty Beck is on the screen or it's time to give away that last Simon Says gift certificate for $100. We have had some pretty excited people. I'm telling you what, it's been great. But first, what are we going to give away, Mr. Producer?
Well, we have a stamp set.
Shall we give away a stamp set?
Let's give away 2.
Let's give away 2 again.
Oh yeah, and we can talk a little bit about the shipping while I spin the wheel.
We adjusted the shipping today. We had it just first class, and then we had
First class mail.
And then we had a stamp set lost, and so we didn't have tracking with it, so we fixed it so now it has tracking. So it might be a little more expensive, but it'll be a better product for you. So we adjusted that, and Grandma Gay asked if we were having special staff to take care of these wonderful stamp orders, and you're looking at her. Extra staff. So Kimberly...
I set up the printer.
He did, and you did a good job because I couldn't have. Kimberly D, let us know after the show that you want that stamp set, and we'll get that to you. There is a claim prize form on craftroulette.live.
Let's do it.
But it's not quite open yet. What are we doing?
This is another stamp set. The under big winner, please.
And if you already have your stamp set, let us know. We'll send you something else. We'll send you a goodie bag. And I owe somebody from last week. You're looking at this extra help, I'm telling you. Jane, do you have yours yet? I think she may. But anyway, Gross, Miss Gross, Journey Girl, let me know. I think you have it. Jen, I don't know if you're here. Now what? Somebody spin from my new mouth. It works better. Oh, for the Simon Says $100 gift certificate. Oh, such a big deal. It's been fun. I know you guys have been very, very happy to get your name come up. It's randomly programmed. Jill McLaird. Jill McLaird, you are the envy of all of Craft Roulette right now. But you have to claim it, so please do by Sunday night at midnight. If you are a patron, you have till Thursday at midnight. We'd love to hear from you and be able to congratulate you. All right. Well, shall we bring her back and say goodnight? Ask her what month it is? Do you know what month it is?
I believe it's May, but only because you said June and it was wrong.
I'll defend her. She was referring to the next month's.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
And I was doing some admin stuff on the rest of the year, and I was just being shocked that next month is halfway through the year already. And so I'm just kind of in inner turmoil at how fast this year's going. But
that's true.
No wonder I don't get anything done. My list is always this long, and the day is only that long.
Yeah, but this show that you put on is huge. I mean, I cannot imagine the planning that it takes to post all these things, and
a lot of it's automated.
Yeah, but still, it's a lot, and you guys do an amazing job. So
thank you.
Stephen.
I think when we first started getting about 50 submissions, I was spending the entire weekend uploading them, and it took about 8 or 10 steps for each card.
Wow.
And so then Mr. Producer came to the rescue and programmed it. It's been a lot of hours so that I don't have to do that. So it's great.
Oh, that's good. Now when you get 300 and something.
Yeah, we have to adjust something every week, but it's great. It's
And then once you automate something, your servers start costing more.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's the price of greatness. What can I say?
Well, you know what? I'm thinking greatness. I'm thinking you, because you did the deed that you were unsure about just 2 hours ago.
Came on a card making show to make a card.
You crazy girl.
I know. It was really fun. And honestly, I mean, I do love to make things, but what I really like is meeting the people who like to make things and hanging out with them and, you know, spending time. So I want to thank you for having me. And also I want to thank Amanda Stevens, who told me about this. And
Amanda's awesome.
Yeah. And
before I forget, next month's sponsors, I was going to announce them. Does anybody want to know, or should we just wait until next week? You, when you send in a card this week for episode 165, you will be eligible to win a spin sponsor giveaway from May Made It, or maybe Brutus Monroe, or Pear Blossom Press. They will be giving away gift certificates every week in what month? June. June. Junio. So, okay, I'm sorry I just saw it was in red, it was in pink highlight.
You have a list. So, I get it. You need to say all the things. So,
all the things. So anyway, but you did great. You really did. And I loved your little book, your book card.
My book card. Yeah. Well, if anybody thinks that they might like to hang out with us and do some of these things, come on over. We'd love to have you. And
when are your lives again? You may have said it earlier. But
Tuesday at 6. I'm on Eastern time. I'm in Virginia. Mm-hmm. So Tuesday at 6 and Thursday at 4, because we have a lot of people from the UK. And they wanted to come tonight, but that's like the middle of the night for them. So, but they'll watch tomorrow or some other time. So
Vicky Ruda is going to be on the end of June, and she is in the UK. She was on the call yesterday, and her husband said she's training to stay up.
Bless her. That's a good idea.
I know. It would take some training. It would to even get me past 10. But,
to come up at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is the time of night when we kiss our brains, because we did something awesome. We faced the wheel and we lived to tell about it. We got somebody from Scotland here. Well done, Karen. Nice to have you.
Yes.
And we tell you from our bottom of our hearts, thank you for joining us, Chatterboxes, Mr. Producer, Eileen. We'll see you next Friday, Tuesday for In Review. Thank you. Love you. Night, night.
Bye, everybody.